G'day guys, how's it going? Alright, I am super bloody excited because I'm going camping on my motorbike. It's been a little while since I've done that, so I thought I'd just do a quick video of how I go about making sure I've got everything and what I'm taking for 2 days in the bush, 1 night's camp in the bush. Righto, first thing we got to do is the bike. Do I have a reliable bike? Yes, I do. It's a Suzuki DR650. You can't get any more reliable than that. But there are some things you've got to make sure your bike's right with. Let's have a look. Rightio, first thing is tyres. Your tyres are always bloody number one. Got plenty of tread? Yes. Look good condition, ripper. Now we've got to just make sure we've got the right pressure in there. 25 in the front there, 30 in the back, because I've got about 126 kilometres of tar riding. Then when I'm in the bush, I can then adjust the pressure. Righto. $33.6, way too much. 24.5, that'll do. Righto, 29.4 in the rear, good enough for me. Righto, since we're on this side, let's check the oil. Righto, lean him over on the flat surface, find the balance point, and I'm saying he is chock-a-block full. That's level there. Brilliant. Righto, next one is chain. Chain looks good, it's still nice and gold. It's most probably on the loose side, but I'd rather it there than too tight. So I'm not going to worry about that. And I don't run any oil on this chain, so no need for me to re-oil. Righto, opened up the air box. This air filter, I would call that borderline. I'm going to go with this will be fine for this ride. It's most probably going to be a dusty ride, but I'll get away with it. So I know now that when I come back from this ride, that has to be cleaned. Rightio, well there you go. So that is it. The bike is ready. Max is ready to bloody get out there on those tracks and just have some fun. The next thing after that is tools. Now I've been doing this a long time, so I carry, let's have a look. So yeah, I carry a big long tool tube here, and this is full of tools and spares. I carry more than what the average person does. Now, in addition to all that in there, in my tank bag, I carry a Leatherman multi-tool, also a air gauge checker, and a cigarette lighter. Yes, a cigarette lighter is a tool. Rightio, air compressor goes on. Make sure I strap him down right. So all the tools that I have, I can change a tyre, I can repair a tube, I have spare fuel line, wires, fuses, I've got sockets, spanners. Oh look, the list bloody goes on. I've actually done videos on that. Yeah, all right, so that's on. Right, couple more things and then we're done. Rightio, so there we go, jump starter. So got a problem with the battery. And last but not least is the first aid kit. I class that as a tool. That is a tool to fix me. Rightio guys, so now we are on to the bags. What bags am I going to carry on the bike to hold all my other bits and pieces? Same bags that I've been using for years. I run the Wolfman's medium duffel bag. So that sits on the back. And then I've got somewhere here some very dusty that I haven't cleaned from the last trip. What do you call them? Saddlebags, that's it, cool. And that's where my first aid kit and the jump starter lives, in here. I have very particular sides that things get put into. I've been doing it for years, so I now know. As soon as I want something, I know exactly on what side of the bike and where things live. Just makes things a whole lot easier. So we've got to get these bags on, then we'll get into all the other bits. Oh, actually, there is one other bag, which we would call a bag, and that is this thing here. So that's a bag that I actually wear. Rightio, so saddlebags to go on. Now, obviously, when you've got an exhaust here and you've got a bag over it, make sure that there's no way that this bag can slip, jiggle, wiggle or whatever and get onto that, because that's the last thing that you want. I have this as an added shield there. I don't actually need it, but I did it when I first started and it's just remained there. If your bags, like this particular setup, they lock in 4 points there, tie down really good. I don't have to really make this solid and fully packed. Things can be in there loose, which I don't normally do, but it can, because these bags are so well anchored on this bike. That's not a problem. But when it comes to the bag on the back, you've got to make sure that you have this bag strapped down good and tight. And another big problem that you always see, and I've done it, is that this bag not being very compact and tight. The way I run this is there's not individual bags. Everything is just loosely put in there so that when I finally do my hunker down, which you're going to see, this bag is tight, so when I strap it down, there's no movement. Nothing's going to jiggle around and then make a loose area, which makes your strap loose, and then this, goes down onto the bloody, I've seen that so many times. Matt's done that. Yeah, cool. All right, so that's the bags. Oh, and can't forget the old tank bag. So I've got a tank bag, which I can carry stuff in there, bits and pieces all over the joint. And then I also have these two little bags there, which hold these little bottles. These are nice to have. I have the hydration pack, which I'll grab now. So yeah, got the backpack goes on. It also has a 3-litre hydration thing in there. So suck on this while you're riding along, no worries. Even when you're not riding along, you can suck on that. But I always like to have this here. It's just a nicer feeling to get off the bike, undo that, get a good old glug, you're not having to suck on it. And the other thing is too, if I want to put electrolytes in there or a flavour or something like that, I do that in these bottles, and I just keep my hydration pack just straight water. Lots of people do different things. There's nothing wrong with putting Gatorade or something in your hydration, not a problem. I'll just quickly say now that obviously all this that I'm doing, it's not the right way, it's not the wrong way, it's my way and it's what works for me. If anything out of this video, you could just get some ideas and adapt those ideas to suit what works basically for you. Right, so the next thing we've got to do is what I call the house. So what am I going to live in, sleep in? Right, let's get the house happening. So our house is clearly a tent. So that's my tent. So there's an inner, outer. Remember, I don't have everything in a bag and then in a bag. I try and keep the least amount of bags as possible. It just makes things a whole lot simpler. Obviously with that tent, there is tent poles and pegs. Beauty. So now I've got something to live in, sleep in. What am I going to sleep on? Oh, in actual fact, I've also got this dry bag here. The reason why I have that, it just sits on the bottom of the bag. In the morning and you get up and you've got dew, all over the tent, and if you're leaving quickly and you don't get a chance to get it all dry, I actually carry a towel to dry most of it. But if you can't get it, I'll whack it in this so that the wet fly doesn't permeate through all my sleeping bags and all that kind of stuff. So that's why I have that. Right, so we want something to sleep on. We need a sleeping mat. Boom, got it. It also comes with a easy way to inflate it. I'm not going to go into brands and all that kind of stuff because it really doesn't matter. This is just, how I think about getting the bike ready to take off. So then I need something to sleep in. This is my summer sleeping bag. So that's got to go in. And of course, I want something, a pillow. I run these. They're just normal, but they're mini pillows. I run the two of them. Everybody has different ways of doing that. But yeah, there's my pillow. Now, so that's the house, the bedroom. Here's the bathroom. There's some deodorant and soap and bloody stuff in there and a toothbrush. Normally the toothbrush is the main thing that I will use. Then of course I've got spare change of, so that's my football, that's spare pair of socks, jocks and a t-shirt. A lot of the times I won't change into this. It's only if I do get wet and I want to get changed, or I've been really hot and sweaty and stinky, I'll change into it. That's just on a overnighter one. So that's me change. And then I have a pair of shoes. These are lightweight shoes. I tried to find the lightest weight pair of bloody shoes that squash down like that, really lightweight. These are pretty well used. You can see the old fire many a time kicking bloody stuff. And I put them in a Ziploc bag because when you've been walking around, it's dirt and mud and whatever. I don't want all that getting all over my good stuff. And then I just have a pair of cargo, very thin, lightweight cargo pants. It's just more comfortable to be, hanging around the campsite of a night time in that, rather than your MX bloody trousers or whatever. And they squash down nice and tight too. Beauty. So the last thing to do with the house is you got to have somewhere to sit. A chair. Whatever chair you have, make sure you got a chair. I first started out on just those three-legged bloody stool things, but if you can have a chair, well, nowadays, lightweight bloody chair, just amazing. But yeah, chair. That should be everything to do with the house. Cool. So now all I've got to do is get all this into here. One exception, which tonight I'll be going to get some gym beans to be able to have with the guys around the fire. I'll carry that in here, but for now, I won't show that. Right, let's stuff all this in there. Right, guys, I'll just let you know that I'm putting in a lightweight hoodie to wear around camp, but I don't put that in this bag because I'll most probably use it in the morning under my gear. But I just thought, yeah, obviously you want something to wear nice. Rightio, so we need a bag, and then all this stuff, throw it down here. So the way I do this bag is, what is the last thing I want to take out of this bag when I'm at camp? Pillows, clothing, shoes, underwear, bathroom stuff, bloody chair. Oh, I forgot about that. Was supposed to go on the bottom, but that doesn't matter. That's all right. Then I've got my mattress, sleeping bag. We'll just give that a bit of a quick squash down. Then I'll put in the tent pegs, poles, the fly, and then the inner, because that's the first thing I want out. That is it. When I roll this bag, I roll it that way. That label there, can you see that? That goes to the back of the bike, and I roll it that way so that if we get rain and the wind just goes over, doesn't go in there. Just an extra added security. Fold that over once and then we give it a shake. So get as much of that air out so it's all nice and tight. Fold that over, give it a shake. And as you can see, I've still got plenty of room to go in this, and I'm going to be putting in my gym beams. This bag's really good because it's got so many straps for tightening this down. I then bring those over like that. Then I'm not going to do it this time, I normally tuck these little loose things so they're not flapping about, but I'm going to have to open this bag up again. Last thing is just that, folds over, and that's it. Done deal. All right, so all we're going to do is whack that on the bike, line it up. I've got gotcha straps. These are 2 meters. On a bag like this, you can get away with, well, quite easily, a 1.5. I've just always had these before they brought out the 1.5s, and sometimes they can be handy if you're collecting wood. on your way into camp, I've got then plenty of extra room to strap wood down on the top of that bag. Righto, I've just got to feed that through there, through the front, then through the back, like that. Grab both ends. Now, these gotcha straps, because they're such a wide strap, and because because I do this bag so tight, I don't have to worry about going through the D buckles of the bag. I've done this for years. I just lightly pull that at this stage, wrap that around, it velcros out, put the other one on, feed through there, the back, make sure it's all nice and flat through there. So now I'll just move this along to there, and now I'll hunker down. But you've got to be careful with these straps. They've got a limit to how far you can go. Oh shit, I was shaking you guys there. But I mean, they can still be tight, but you just got to be careful, you know, how tight you go. And then I've got all this extra here. So all I do, this is the beauty of gotcha straps, with your extra, you just come around again, boom. And now I'll come over to this other side. Oh, where is it? There it is. Now I can pull this other side tight, give it a good hunk, wrap it around, stick it down, and this bag is not going anywhere, and it never has. Rightio, we're nearly getting there, guys. So the kitchen is the next thing. In your kitchen, you're going to need water. So as I said, I'll have 3 litres in there. Sometimes, depending on what I'm doing or where I'm going or how hot it is and all that, I might only carry 2 litres, but I've got the option of carrying 3 litres there. I've got this 2 litre, and then those 2 bottles there, which are 600 mils each. That is more than enough, but you just got to remember, it's not just the drinking water. It's if you're cooking and you're going to have to do some cleanup, you're going to need water to do that if you don't have it available. Brushing your teeth, if you do that, you know, a little bit of bloody guzzling. When you're getting low on water, it's amazing when you need to do things like that and you go, oh my God, you know, I'm using so much water. So I always carry too much because I've been in the Simpson Desert and ran out of water, been topped up by 4-wheel drivers, and then still didn't get out of the Simpson Desert, and we still ran out of water, and we had 100 k's still to get to a town. Well, not a town, it wasn't a town, it was a bloody Mungarani, and at night time. So I learnt my lesson there. I always bring more, and generally there's always someone that's looking, because there's going to be 20 of us on this ride, and there's always someone running low, and I'm the type of guy that likes to be able to help out people. So if I can, you know, throw one of these or bloody, you know, some of that or whatever. It's the same with why I carry all the tools. Yeah, so water, boom, got that covered in there as well. All your cooking. So in this, I'm not going to go through this. I'm most probably going to do a bit of a series on basic and then remote camping and all the different things that you need to bring, and then break it back down. I've done all this stuff before, but I know there's a lot of new guys and things change and stuff. So in there is more than what the general person needs, but that's my stove, utensils, coffee, tea, you know, bloody wind deflectors, cutting boards, what do you call it, bloody paper towel and all that kind of stuff. That is all in there. So that is, I know that's good to go. If you're just doing bloody, you know, dehydrated packs, all you need is water. Don't forget, dehydrated packs, you're using a lot of water. Or if you're using a tin, it might be just a spoon is all you need. That's it. But I'm going, Holmesy from Holmesy's Camp Cooking, he's coming along, and he's obviously he's really good at doing his bloody camp cooking. So I thought I'd better bring me A game. So I'll be doing something a little bit, well, I think it's a little bit special. So I've got my fry pan, freshly seasoned. It looks greasy, but that's not greasy. That's just a very well seasoned. A lot of people were bloody complaining, not complaining, but, you know, giving me shit about me pan. It was a bit bent and buckled up, so I straightened it out with the old mallet, and I've re-seasoned it now, so that's all good. Got a plate. That just goes in there, zipped up. The reason why I put it in there, sometimes if I'm in a rush or whatever and I don't get a chance to be doing some cleaning, I can just you know, wipe it all out. But if I haven't properly washed it, and again, it doesn't get all shit everywhere. So that goes on there. Now, obviously, I've got food to bring. I'm not going to be showing you that. The cold stuff that I'll be taking, most of the food will get put into this little bag here. It's just a cheap little bloody whatever. I'll put an ice pack in there. I'm doing sausages, in hot dog rolls, having, what do you call it, cheese. It would be grated cheese, fried onions, tomato sauce, barbecue sauce. I think that's it. Oh, and the crunchy chip things on it. Yeah, that's what I'm going with. Righto. Now, there's also, you've got to think about snacks, your lunch, your tea, and your breakfast. So I'll be doing all that tonight, so I can't show you that, but that's what will go in there. And then things like snacks, I'll put in here, and even my breakfast stuff will go in here as well. Will live in there. Right, so the only thing left, and I'm not going to go through all the different lots of food and whatever. That's how I work it. So kitchen is the utensils, and the food and water is all in that kitchen, and I just make sure that I've got all that stuff to go. Right, so the last bloody category that I have is the electronical stuff. I'm again not normal because I do videos, obviously. But, so I always think, right, electronics, headlamp, you've got to have a headlamp, whatever headlamp it is. When you're out camping, a headlamp is just absolutely brilliant. And really, that is all you need. That's all I was actually, before I got this whiz-bang bloody new one, this was the only torch that I brought with me. It was kept in my tank bag. I've now moved to this. And of course, as you've seen some of the other videos, I've got some extra stuff. But really, all you need is that on your head while you're eating, while you're walking around, going to the bloody toilet, wanting to have a bit of a wander, hang it in the tent. That's it. You just need one bloody torch, that's it. I've got this extra one, so mucking around with it if I want to go for a walk and just have the extra bloody whatever. I've got that, and I've got this other one which is like a tent. Because I do the filming out there, having these little extra lights helps with the filming around the fire, and you know, around the tent and stuff when it gets dark. So the main thing is the electronics. Know what electronics you're taking. Like I've got the tablet there for the navigation. We've all got a bloody phone. Make sure they're all charged. So everything here was charged last night. 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%. And I've got multiple of these. I'm not showing everything. Make sure your cables you've got to suit everything. And these days, because the USB-C, that's USB-C, 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 USB-C. Brilliant. One cable can do all those, but I can have multiples, but I just don't have to think, oh, is that the right one, blah, blah, blah. Make sure they're all charged, and make sure that if you've got your 12 volt cigarette thing on your thing, that it actually works and does charge stuff on the go. I obviously have a Sony camera on my helmet. I have a GoPro pointing back at me on the thing. I have a Sony Handycam for when I'm off the bike in the tank bag. I've got bloody tripod that sticks on the back. So I've got lots of electronic bloody stuff that I need to. So that's why I say electronics. For me, there's a lot involved in it for me. But you know, like I said, got a phone, and pretty much that's all you really need, depending on what you're doing. Shut up, Mark, you're just going to ramble on like you normally do. Rightio guys, I think I've got everything covered. No, there is one thing I did forget, and that was in the toiletry. See, I'm no different than anybody else. I forget shit. Dunny paper, don't forget the dunny paper. I like to use those, like the wet ones stuff. That I find is a good thing to take. It's not as big as bulky as a toilet roll. Yeah, it just works better. Righto. Okay guys, hopefully you found that educational, entertaining, I don't know, passed a bit of bloody time or whatever. So I will say now, keep on riding, and if you ain't riding, keep on keeping on. Oh, hang on guys, just before you go, to the Biker Bits community, you guys watching, a lot of you guys are experienced campers. If you've got some great ideas to add to this, like I was saying, this is just what works for me. It's not right, it's not wrong. Everybody's situation is different. Whack in the comments maybe some of the things that you bring along or don't bring along or is a good idea or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Righto, get the hell out of here.